Focus. Ideate. Innovate. Enable.
Small enterprises engaged in ancillary industries are a very vital component of Make in India. And recognizing their importance, Outlook Business has been dedicating an annual special edition to bring forth their problems, hopes, and expectations. Today, we showcase the culmination of all our efforts. To set the stage for today's event, may I please call upon Outlook Group Executive Director, Mr. Indranil Roy, to deliver the welcome address.
Outlook is celebrating 20 years of publishing, and Outlook Business is celebrating 10 years of publishing, and Outlook Traveler, our travel magazine, this month is celebrating 15 years of publishing. And this is actually a great year for us. Today at this Smart Enterprise event, our endeavor is also to create content which will enrich everyone in this room.
India's SME segment comprises approximately 45 million units, accounts for 45% of manufacturing output and about 17% of GDP. That's sizable by any measure, except when you think about the potential the segment holds for an aspiring manufacturing destination that India is today. In comparison, Germany's Mittelstand contributes 50% of GDP, and China's SMEs contribute even more at 60% of GDP. The good news is, one can finally see a confluence of factors raising our hope of getting there. To begin with, the government is making concerted effort to spur manufacturing through the Make in India initiative. Second, the online revolution is springing up new opportunities for small, organized units to partake in the growth of the new digital economy. And more importantly, it's become easier than ever to access credit if you have a good business model. Still, the presence of the opportunity alone is not a passport to success. We still have to work very hard to create the right ecosystem to realize this potential. Outlook Business Smart Enterprise is a small cog in the wheel to create this ecosystem. I'm very glad to share that in our magazine, for the past 8 years, our reporters have been doing ground visits of India's key industrial clusters, trying to gauge the business sentiment, understand ground realities, and discover smart enterprises across the nation. Today's event is a natural extension to bring together entrepreneurs from diverse clusters, large organizations, and the government to have a meaningful dialogue on how to harness the power of SMEs in India.
A panel discussion was held to discuss the need to embrace Make in India and the need for Indian companies to focus on quality over cost to differentiate themselves from the crowd.
Even a couple of years ago, if we spoke to people in business, you'd often hear people say that, China is way ahead in manufacturing. We've missed the bus, no point trying to replicate that model, we can't compete, and so on. Ever since Prime Minister Modi has initiated this high decibel manufacture in India pitch, Make in India pitch, the discourse has decisively shifted back to how to crack manufacturing. The fact is, things are never as good as they are made out to be, nor are they as bad as they are made out to be. So knowing that we have this huge local market potential, my first question is, when large companies come and set up manufacturing here, large suppliers and their feeder industries also come here. More so in today's environment when growth is tapering in other parts of the world, foreign suppliers will be looking to fill in their capacities and come and set up shop in emerging countries like India. If Make in India then an opportunity or a threat for Indian companies?
The nature of business is such that every opportunity is a threat. So whenever you have any market anywhere in the world, there will be competition. And actually competition only strengthens the existing players. So actually this I see as a huge opportunity. And I see as a huge opportunity not just because of the initiative, but because of the state of the world and what is going on in China. So as countries get to a certain income level, others will occupy the spaces that they used to occupy. India is already occupying some spaces above China, in terms of high quality manufacturing. But the mass scale manufacturing has been much more modest in India. And there is a need to expand at all levels. We already have a fair amount of skill at certain levels. We are good with small lot manufacturing. But to have the full scale, the time can be propitious, because some of the earlier manufacturers are going to become higher income. And so they will have to compete back with the US and stuff, while we can actually occupy some of those spaces.
Sure. Mr. Goenka.
Opportunity or threat depends on how you look at it and how you address what's in front of you. So if I look at Make in India, clearly it increases the size of the pie, and that's an opportunity. But it also makes it a little bit more difficult to occupy a position in that pie. And for that, the MSME sectors has to work harder to take advantage of that. What does that mean? If you look at MSME sector in India and go back a generation, a lot of this started by who you know. Okay, I have a family friend, I have a relative who will give me something to do, and I'll do it and I'll keep doing it. That doesn't work anymore.
Right.
It is totally professional. Companies that are in MSME have to earn their business. They cannot be given a business. And earning the business means, when it comes to quality, when it comes to technology, they have to compete with the best in the world. Because my customer is not going to forgive me because I have sourced from an MSME in India, because they want the same product that they will get from any other MNC. Right. So if MSME is able to sort of go up to that level, where they are able to match up with the quality technology that an MNC player setting shop in India is able to give, then it's a great opportunity. Right. Great opportunity, not just in terms of what they can do in India, but on top of that, be able to export those goods outside India. And that's the way I look at it. So you can make it an opportunity if you prepare for it and work towards it.
That's easier said than done, right?
Well, I tend to agree with my co-panelist. Yeah, it's an opportunity. I think especially for a country like ours, wherein we still have to perform a journey to close gap with the different examples like Mittelstand we took, and we are talking about the 52% of Germany economic value added is done by the SMEs, and in case of India, it's only 38%. For the population size and the number of enterprises in Germany, you have 4 million and we have 48 million. And they export about $250 billion and we export about $120 billion. So you can see from the consumption story point of view and purely from the potential point of view, I think there's an opportunity. Now, with respect to the value chain organizations like us run, we have SME participation rate of about 35%. So
how much?
35%. So if you see it from that point of view, as we push more for the localization and indigenization, this kind of opportunities have to be captured by the units which are in the SME sector. Only thing is, they need to be organized, and they should also be able to innovate, train the people, and also have a very intensive kind of an internship program and the kind of apprenticeship program to really be able to sustain it going forward.
Is cost and quality always a question of this or that?
See, there was a time when India's economy was growing at a very modest rate. Especially for the manufactured goods, our demand was very low. But now this economy has started to grow, especially our demand for industrial goods. So I think the opportunity should first come to the local producers. I think we have the competence, we've got the knowledge, we've got the raw materials. We have most of the things that it takes to become a competitive manufacturer of the goods that we need. I think we just have to have our act well defined. We have to have an enabling mechanism from the government. I must say that the present government started to do that, to enable the local manufacturing industry to come up. And as you mentioned in your covering comments that earlier, if you compare with Germany and China, They are called manufacturing locations, whereas people started calling us that is the knowledge capital, software capital, but nobody likes to call us that we have anyway go to, among the top league of the production players. I think that's the kind of image we must shun, we must shed. It's very important. I think we in the manufacturing sector, we can be very competitive. There are few things we have done, there are few things we need to do. We need to be a lot more innovative. We've got to make sure that our complete value chain is highly optimized so that we can stand on our own feet.
So if you look at aerospace industry, there are no OEMs making aircraft in the country. So it's a slightly different ball game compared to, say, for automotive industry. And today, at Airbus, we have, say, 6,800 aircraft to deliver. That's approximately 10 years of backlog, which is different, again, from automotive industry. And what we are looking at is really want to expand our supply chain, coming into countries like India. So for the last 10 years, we've been developing suppliers in the country. So what we are looking for here is quality and that cost. But quality is very important for us. You can see people who have seen, the accident investigation, some of the aircraft accidents happen because of one fastener, for example. So quality is extremely important. And we have selected about 40 to 45 companies in India, not because we have an offset obligation or anything, because these guys have been selected based on looking at Southeast Asia, Northeast Asian countries as well, and India. So Indian SMEs and MSMEs can compete globally in order to be in that stage. Out of the 45 suppliers we have, about 80% of them are SMEs and MSMEs. And what we are encouraging them is already, I think a couple of people have mentioned that, is really to look at innovation and how they can really change the game. We want them to really come back with innovative methods. And this is what we are expecting also from a different culture, to look at it differently, to see what they can bring to the table. And that's why I feel that for aerospace industry, Make in India is a great opportunity, because that really brings a lot of opportunities for SMEs and MSMEs.
So I will just add on what my friends have said. So I fully agree, every opportunity has got a threat. But as far as the electronic industry is concerned, today India has got a population of 1.2 billion people. And that population is a threat and opportunity both, right? Forget about the manufacturing, our population itself is a big opportunity and threat both. Today, with 1.2 billion kind of a population, so kind of a consumption story that we are, the kind of a devices that we produce out here can get consumed out in India. So that is the reason why I say Make in India is a great opportunity. A mobile kind of an industry, a $20 billion kind of industry, having no manufacturing at all. How is it possible? Right? So with the Make in India, I think everybody, as far as the electronic industry and the mobile industry is concerned, we are very upbeat, and the government of India and the state government of India has actually rolled out no less than red carpet for people like us.
I believe first thing I would say is that is the confidence. I think we need to have a lot of self-confidence that we can do it. I think that's a starting point, because many, if you see last 2-3 decades, you can see there are a number of areas wherein we really have created companies which have been best in class globally, right? If you look into the services side, I think we have done quite well. So I think if we want to participate in the manufacturing, China shouldn't have done what they have done in the last 20-30 years if they were looking at Japan and Korea, because those guys have done and they have no space left. So I think the cycles run in the global economy. You had space for UK, then for Europe and US, then Japan, Korea, China. I believe the macroeconomics are stacking in favor of India now. So I think it's up to us what we make out of it. So I think it's just the core confidence of larger players and the middle-sized players or smaller players. I think they should just participate and just play it out.
Confidence.
I think you have to increase productivity, so skill yourself towards quality and consistency.
Sure.
If you really want to compete and grow, you have to move up the quality and technology ladder. Without that, there is no future.
Sure.
Well, I would say that the government has started to focus on the ease of business. I think that should continue, and we should reduce the cost of capital, which I think is a big deterrent for many private players to come into the sector. The people should be, supported by the government. A lot of startups must be encouraged, not only in the IT space, but also in the convention industry. I mean, if you catch hold of a bunch of young graduates who want to come together, they can set up an IT enterprise, but how many of them can set up a cement plant or a power plant? I think we should think of some creative way whereby we can bring young talent also into the convention industry.
Sure. Awesome.
So my message is innovation should be there along with the Make in India. So because without innovation, I think Make in India alone is not sustainable. And second message that I would like to give it to the young generation is, pricing cannot be the only USP of the business. Pricing can be icing on the cake, but pricing can't be only USP of the business. That is the one place wherein probably most of the people try going that route and they found they are wrong. Yeah.
Sure.
So that's my message.
I think for the aerospace supply chain, I think 80% of our supply chain is made out of MSMEs and SMEs. So, I mean, that's going to be a great opportunity. But the message is that you're not too small to innovate. So that's going to be should be your motto and the drive. And if you innovate, success will come rushing to you.
Celebrating the spirit of Indian enterprise, Outlook Business launched the third edition of The Power of I, showcasing unique companies that exemplify India's capabilities. A discussion led by Union Minister Kalraj Mishra and other corporate leaders discussed ways to drive innovation and cooperation within and across clusters and ideas to make them thrive.
इतने सारे हम देख रहे हैं, इनोवेशन काउंसिल हो रही है, फिर स्टार्टअप इंडिया की बात हो रही है, स्किल अप इंडिया की बात हो रही है, सारों को एक कोहेसिव यूनिट बनाकर एक सक्सेसफुल क्लस्टर को क्रिएट करने के लिए सरकार क्या कर रही है?
ये बात तो सत्य है कि क्लस्टर डेवलपमेंट के बगैर जिस तरीके से एमएसएमई के जरिए से पूरे देश का हम विकास करना चाहते हैं, वो नहीं हो सकता। आज के समय में इंडस्ट्रियल क्लस्टर डेवलपमेंट बहुत आवश्यक है। क्लस्टर बन रहे हैं, कॉमर्स फैसिलिटी सेंटर्स बन रहे हैं। क्लस्टर के अंदर एक कैंपस भी ऐसा हो जो मार्केटिंग के हिसाब से समय समय पर उसमें एग्जीबिशंस भी लगे, फेयर भी लगे, ताकि विभिन्न प्रकार के जो माल आ रहे हैं उनका एक कंपटीशन हो, उसमें देख करके लोग ढंग से उसको ले सके। ये हमारी कोशिश है और हम जरूर चाहते हैं, हमने इस दिशा में प्रयास भी किया है। अब हमारा प्रयास है स्किल डेवलपमेंट के लिए हमने कुछ चीजें की है। हमने एस्पायर स्कीम तैयार किया है। एस्पायर स्कीम के अंतर्गत ए स्कीम फॉर प्रमोशन ऑफ इनोवेशन, रूरल इंडस्ट्री एंड एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप, इसमें दोनों का हम स्किल डेवलपमेंट भी करते हैं, मशीनों पर भी करते हैं और उसके अलावा जहां भी उनको भेजना होता है इंडस्ट्री के अंदर या स्वयं वो एंटरप्रेन्योर बनकर के काम कर सकते हैं। दूसरा है हमारे यहां टेक्नोलॉजिकल सेंटर सिस्टम प्रोग्राम है, जिसको टूल्स रूम आप कहते हैं, और वो काफी बड़ा होता है। उसके अंदर जहां इंडस्ट्री रहती है उसका हम बाकायदे उसको चलाते हैं और उस टेक्नोलॉजिकल सेंटर सिस्टम के अंतर्गत टूल्स रूम जिसको आप पहले बोलते थे, उसमें काफी वर्ल्ड बैंक ने हमें सहयोग किया था। उसे 100-150 करोड़ या 200 करोड़ के माध्यम से इंस्टीट्यूशन बनाते हैं। उसमें इंजीनियरिंग है, टेक्निकल नॉलेज रखने वाले हैं, प्रबंधन करने वाले हैं, इन सारे लोगों की हम ट्रेनिंग करते हैं, स्किल डेवलपमेंट करते हैं। ये सारी चीजें सिंप्लीफाई हो सके, इसे हम सरलीकरण कर सके और जो 2 वर्ष 3 वर्ष के अंदर या 4 वर्ष के अंदर चीजें निर्माण हो पा रही है, वो साल भर के अंदर शुरू हो जाए, ये हमारा प्रयास है। और हम भविष्य में, जैसे आपने कहा कि सरकार को बताया जाता है, सरकार करती नहीं, ये सरकार करने वाली है। हम लगातार घूम के कर रहे हैं, मॉनिटर कर रहे हैं।
What is the future of a cluster going to look like, and what is that one thing that is going to make it a successful cluster? What is that one factor or ingredient that you need to make a successful cluster?
To make a cluster successful, if you talk about one factor, then one factor from governance and one factor from members, because both are different forces working on it. If we talk about members, then those who are forming the clusters, it is their responsibility to establish credibility of the cluster. that whatever investment is done, A, it is utilized, and B, there is return on investment. It is not that we are investing for the purpose of dream or any other purpose. This is one towards member. As regards to governance, it is important for them that it is not one of the formalities they are doing and they are giving money which is favor to the industry. No, they should remove it from their mind. They are not doing favor. They are establishing infrastructure in the country for bottom of the pyramid of industry.
The small and medium enterprises, they definitely have to come together in order to be sustainable and competitive and successful and all that. I think that today what is happening, that we are limiting the operations or the clusters to mainly to the manufacturing, but we need to go beyond that.
The cluster program has great potential to tap international markets. So the small and medium enterprises have to basically shed the mindset that they are small businesses, come together, scale up and show a big size, benchmark themselves against the best in the world and make sure that they follow the best practices, best processes and achieve the best quality.
The governance and the membership, if we set a goal to be achieved by the cluster, a big number or a goal, and if it is monitored and measured, and if it is appreciated and if it is shared across the country, probably the national wealth can be created and we can set out the mindset, the inferiority kind of mindset has to go out of every one of the cluster members, and we should think that we are in no way inferior to anybody in the world, because we are, but that mindset change has to happen.
I'd like to invite on stage the Outlook Business Associate Publisher, Ms. Vidya Menon, to deliver the vote of thanks for this insightful and enriching evening.
I would like to extend a big thank you to each one of you for having graced Outlook Business Smart Enterprise 2016. One of the pain points for our clusters has always been that they are most part of the time unaware of the government schemes launched for the SME segment. We have now formulated a page on our website, www.outlookbusiness.com, which will host a comprehensive list of special schemes that the government has launched for the SME segment. This will be commissioned by the 1st of June 2016. Wish you all a wonderful and a fantastic evening ahead. Thank you once again.